Nodwin Gaming co-founder Gautam Virk. May I request you to please join the session. We have Kartik Sabherwal from Upthrust Esports founder. We have Kanishka Singh, Assistant Business Director, Times One. May I request Shiva Nandy, founder and CEO of Esports, to join the panel, please. I request Gautam to please take over. Gautam, to you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having us today. We have a session on esports monetization and the challenges and opportunities that we face. Esports in the country of India has grown leaps and bounds. We have more than 500 million gamers now in the country. Esports really stepped out of the niche that it's in, and now it's becoming mainstream. As viewership continues to grow, the participation numbers continue to grow, and as more and more brands are getting involved as well. So we're currently at the spike, I would say. Year on year, we've seen growth. Players are growing, brands, monetization, monies is growing. However, we're not quite there yet globally, right? If you look at India, the numbers that we're getting great viewership, but brands are not so open at the moment. So I want to take this opportunity to discuss with you guys what opportunities do we have and what challenges do we have and your thoughts on this, right? So I've prepared some questions, but I would, want to hear your thoughts on these and what are the challenges that you have personally faced? Let's talk about that. And what are the successes that you guys have seen? Let's talk about that. So I have the questions here. So my first question for everyone here is, what's your current take on the current state of the esports monetization in the country of India, and what excites you the most about its future? I want to start with you, Shiva.
Guys, this is Shiva from Skyesports. So, on to your question, Gautam, esports seeing a remarkable growth in India right now. If you see like 4 years, 5 years back, it is very tough to bring brands getting into esports. But right now, things changed. If you see 2 years, 3 years back, the endemic brands like AMD, Intel started to invest in esports. But if you see right now, we are seeing like non-endemic brands, which is FMCG brands, are ready to invest in esports like Hero, and all the brands are coming. Even for our next IP Skyesports Championship, we are going to work with 3 FMCG brands, which is a great success. Like whatever you are seeing in traditional sports, which is right now executing in esports, like be it FMCG brands or automobile brands, everyone is coming into esports. And it's not just about brands, right? So like last year we did a Sky Sport Championship international event with the $350,000, and the main monetization we got from the media rights and data rights. So we sold our media rights to like Russia, Portugal, and we sell our broadcast to different languages, different countries, and same like we sold our data rights to different partners. So it's not just about brands getting into esports, it's all about the media rights and the data rights also like involving right now. Whatever you guys are seeing, what the monetization model for traditional sports, which is right now shifting to esports.
I do want to add the $350,000. That's the prize pool he was talking about. That's the amount of prize pool that we're seeing in the esport industry growing very rapidly. Even the traditional, the first party tournaments are now in India are going to 2 crore prize money, and it continues to grow. I think this year we are expecting it to start hitting 3 crores, and they've started some new monetization strategies for prize pool as well. But I want him to answer this from the Kartik to answer from the Upthrust perspective, and then I'll come back to you.
I started in 2019. तब के time पे like there was not much of brand sponsorship. Like in 2020 and early 2021, people were more dependent on streaming platform for the sponsorship, and there were not many endemic and non-endemic brand sponsorship in the ecosystem. But there's a slight change since last 2 3 years. Brands are taking more interest rather than streaming platform like in other industries like sports. If we say like cricket and football, the major monetization comes from the broadcasting platform. But in esports, there's slight downfall with the streaming platform and broadcasting right sort of thing. But I am seeing like endemic and non-endemic brands have shown interest in last 2 3 years, and they have been quite investing in the ecosystem, which is good for creating IPs. Like they have been supporting teams recently. Few brands like iQOO and Realme, they have partnered with multiple teams. It somewhat helps the system to sustain the ecosystem. And like nowadays, if you see, the prize pools also have been going high. Like talking about like Skyesports Championship or ESL on Nodwin BGMS. So the prize pool is going high because of the sponsorship which comes in, and that is from like non-endemic brand as well. So yep.
You run a couple of your own IPs in esports as well. Do you want to talk about the history where you started and how the monetization has helped it to grow till now, and what are your thoughts on it growing in the future as well? Because the reason why specifically, you're the youngest one basically between us. You're the youngest esports organization that we have on the panel, and you've really seen the growth since 2019. And I want to hear your experience launching your own IP and being able to monetize that, and how's that journey been, where it started and where it's now?
So when I started, I was not much aware about all the entire monetization system of esports, like how I will monetize this. So I used to work on freelancers basis, and there was a small team of 2 3 people when I started early. Then slowly, I focused on my own IPs. I created my own IPs. Obviously, I saw you guys doing great, like working since a long time, and I followed the same path. I tried to crack few brands and sell them. I don't belong to any business background, nor I did studies in any business marketing sort of thing. But like after Shark Tank India, like I was introvert guy, but post Shark Tank India, I gained some confidence, and like people started to recognize us, and like even there was some authenticity between brands as well. That we have done something, and like we are capable of doing great things if we collab with the Upthrust. So they like trust. Like from there onwards, the journey started. Like the brands also started trusting us, and we somehow now working with 40 plus brands, and like we have connects with top brands like Samsung, Realme, iQOO, etc. And yeah, like the initial phase was all about the streaming platforms and freelancing work, but post that, like post the ban, PUBG ban, the like I thought like it's not like we should not be only dependent on the streaming platforms. We should try and fight to get more and more brands, endemic or non-endemic. So we have now worked with 7+ non-endemic brands as well since then.
Great. Now, Kanish, I want you to talk about, you've been looking at esports from multiple angles versus three of us. That's what my belief is. What have you seen over your journey before, now you are with the Times, before you were in India today, you guys were running your own IPs there also, plus I believe you were partnering with other people in participating in their IPs, and also running a bigger esports strategy with content and other things. How have you seen the monetization grow over your last 4 or 5 years that you've been doing this?
Hi guys, this is Kanishka. I represent Times Group. So basically, Gautam, very good question. The thing is that from the media perspective, and I think the reason why media companies want to enter esports is because they want to be able to target the young audience, which is present in the esports segment. So I think from what I have seen that from my experience in India today, we try to create our own IPs for the in India today, and the education which we have to give, especially to a non-endemic brand, that is the part which was missing in 2019 when we started in India today. That part has been quite resolved with the help of Nodwin Gaming, with Skyesports, with Upthrust Esports. That's why a lot of non-endemic brands are participating in esports now. There was also a phase when there was a banning of games which were happening, right? And that actually shook the confidence of the brands to be part of esports. Then there was a confusion between a RMG and a esports thing, in which people used to think that people are betting the money in that, and that also because of the regulation, eventually the clarification came. Then there has been a lot of lobbying with the government which has happened, and this is a learning which we have to teach to each and every brand which we talk to. We talk to them about in what way government is supporting esports now. We talk about how Mr. Narendra Modi talks about esports and gaming. And this is from my experience in Times, I can tell you, we are generally trying to reach out to the brands which are non-endemic brands, and that is the thing which we have to crack for the esports industry to be successful. Why would a pipe guy sponsor a IPL team? Because there is absolutely no relation, right? But they see some value in it, and that's why they are sponsoring an IPL team. So this is something which we have to showcase to them, that this is also a sport which is about to go, which is about to blast, and it will become the biggest sport after cricket. It is unofficially has become the biggest sport after cricket, right? But the kids nowadays, if you want to be able to target the kids, you want to go and partner with the esports companies. You have to partner with the gaming companies to try and see how you can reach, because that is where the people are.
Yeah, and I think I would roll into the next question because you brought it up here. How do we change the perception? Because I feel, specifically coming from esports, RMG companies have a lot more money to throw around and lobby to the government, and they've really tried to kind of bring themselves closer to, like, this is a game of skill, this is esports. And I feel as traditional esports organizations that we are, it damages us more than gives any advantage. While we've seen the government now bringing esports and understanding what esports is, and especially with a lot of the AVGC policies are now talking about esports and supporting it. What are your thoughts on the presence of RMG and its kind of influence on the AVGC policy and bringing esports or tagging esports along it? Do you think we are benefiting from it, or do you think we are suffering because of it?
So one thing, Gautam, right? Esports is a way of rewarding the players, right? Why esports is very successful is because players spend so much time gaming. And through esports, the players who are spending so much time, they are able to get rewarded back by playing well, and then competing in the tournament and able to earn the prize money. The thing about RMG is it's a shortcut way to try and earn the money, except we know the reality of it, that maximum people lose money while playing RMG, and the companies itself make a lot of money. Right.
Whereas in esports, we don't charge anyone money to play.
Absolutely. This is exactly where I was going, except that in esports, it's free of cost. People just showcase their skill, and then because of their skill, similar to any other sport, they are able to earn a lot of money, right? And they become influencers, they become content creators, and then again they create a following because of their skills. So I think this is the knowledge which we need to be able to impart, even the brands which you are talking to, because in fact I have had quite a few meetings in which I have done a half-an-hour session with a brand, separating a difference between an esports event and an RMG, right? So this is something which we have to, as an esports ambassadors, which when we are reaching out to the major general industry, marketing industry, we should be able to inform them and tell them the difference between RMG and esports.
Shiva, I want to hear your thoughts also.
Yeah, so like it's very simple, like game of chances and game of skills. So Like I think Gautam, you remember we met Kiran Rijiju when he was a sports minister in 2021. We, Sky, Nodwin, everyone, all stakeholders met Kiran Rijiju sir when he was a sports minister and give a long case study like what is a game of chances, what is game of skills. And it took like 2 to 3 years. Right now, there is a lot of changes happen in the government side also. So now I am a part of Tamil Nadu AVGC policy committee, and you know, like Tamil Nadu is comes to RMG, they're very strict. Like they recently banned Dream 11 or Rummy, everything they banned. And you understand one thing, like we work like 3 to 4 years to differentiate what is game of chance and game of skills, working with Tamil Nadu government, Karnataka government, different governments. And now, imagine Tamil Nadu government accepted esports and they recognized as a sports. Now we partnered with Tamil Nadu government and we did a CM trophy and we added esports as a demo event. And this year, 2025, they are introducing esports as a medal event. And top of that, like if you see like esports World Cup, how it's happening in Riyadh, we are creating a esports global championship IP for Tamil Nadu, which is going to be a global championship. So the steps from the state governments, which is proving like they understand what is game of chance and game of skills, and the regulations also made. So this initiative like changed tremendously in Karnataka, Andhra, now Mumbai. Every government right now started to focus and acknowledge esports as a sports.
And I think with the government involvement, we can expect monetization to improve, more brands get to enter it. But currently, outside Tamil Nadu, there's not a lot going on. And how do we convince more brands to get in esports, invest in esports? Is it all about just educating them? Is it like we've showcased esports on live television? We've showcased esports in big stadiums already. We've showcased esports via massive influencers who are leading, the initiatives. So much money is invested into ecosystem as well. How do we reach out and get more brands involved in esports?
See, for your question, we recently partnered with Karnataka government and we are doing a national championship along with the GAFX. So that event is going to happen in February 27, 28 and March 1st. So interestingly, what we did is we talked with the government and made a statement, and the statement sent to all the brands. Because if you see, like earlier I mentioned, getting non-endemic brands into esports is very tough. Now we partnered with the AMD for national championship, which is associated with the Karnataka government, but we are pitching to the FMCG and automobile brands through government. And since the government is sending the letterhead to everyone, all the brands are realizing how important to partner with esports. So for your question, things is changing. It's coming from bottom to top. Soon all the state governments and central governments will understand the importance of esports.
Any thoughts from both of you, either of you?
So I guess there are only few states who are regularly participating and doing stuff
Bihar
around
as
esports.
well.
Yeah, Bihar, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh also did something around esports last year. So I guess there should be more and more states who should come up and what happens exactly in cricket. There is state level, then Ranji sort of thing, then comes IPL, then the international cricket. I think we need to form something similar to cricket in esports as well. There should be more and more opportunities in the grassroots level, and people can get more and more awareness, and also if more and more states gonna come up with the same thought process, I guess brands would also show interest in the same direction, and esports will be growing at a very rapid pace.
Kanishka?
So, talking from the government perspective, so Government of India, from what I know and from the knowledge and discussion which I have had with GOI before, they would not directly be involved into esports per se as of now. From the state perspective, like Shiva mentioned, Tamil Nadu, Kartik mentioned Bihar, they are, sports is a state subject, right? So the government, in the individual state governments are free to explore in what way they want to explore the sports. From the government of India perspective, from the sports ministry perspective, with the information which I have is that they want a federation to come up, and then they themselves then they have to register with the government, and then the government will be able to support and divert funds to it. And that is exactly when I think that there would be a proper monetization of esports possible, especially to the non-endemic brands, because right now, because of the recent bannings which I mentioned before, there has been multiple discussions in which people are confused that what if this goes into the territory of being an illegal thing, right? Especially because there is a confusion. I have had discussion with marketeers who have absolutely no idea about how exactly gaming work, and they confuse even betting with esports or in real money gaming. So this is something which I think once the government support of the multiple states as well as government of India comes up, that is when I think we would be able to see a lot many non-endemic brands being part of it.
Yeah, and we've seen government now making solid moves on esports as part of the Haryana AVGC policy. They've added esports, have added some more inputs as well. One of the big questions that was asked to me, which I couldn't answer at that point, was what can the state do for you? Now, you've had opportunity to work with the states. What is the exact output that you're looking from the states, or what kind of whether it be investment or time or effort, what is the main output that you're looking from the state when you say that you're working with the state of Tamil Nadu? What is the final output that brings the most value to you as part of that?
See, at the end, like it's a acknowledgement is very important thing, because like I have 10 years old kid, and my parents didn't allow me to play cricket, but I am happily allowing to play cricket, right? But esports, none of the parents, not none of the parents, around like 80% of the people, parents still not interested to make their kids to play esports. Still they have the hesitation. But when the government, whether it's a state government or central government, acknowledging it, then the parents will come and started to support. When parents started to support, the player base will increase, and the participation will increase, and the user base increase, and the watch, everything will increase. And not only that, so first acknowledgement, and like I mentioned, 2-3 years we are working with the Tamil Nadu government, and now they started to like giving the grant, like be it like a venue or like accommodation or a travel, lot of stuff they are giving like a grant, also like subsidiary cost for certain things. So many things we are expecting from government, which they are already started to provide.
I would like to add few points into this. Like government, state support and recognition for esports can create a great impact, because like in sports, I'll take example of sports. Like people say कि मैं district level champion हूँ, मैं state level champion हूँ, मैं national level champion हूँ, then comes international. So अगर यहाँ पे भी esports में I think ये चीज़ चलने लगी तो like people will get more and more like what you say,
Legitimization हो जाएगा
right. So like this will also give them a chance to prove to their family and their surrounding, like they are getting recognition into their district, their best player out of their state or national championship. So I guess there's some step by step we need to move ahead for the betterment of esports community and gaming community in India. So I think recognition from state government and such stuff is very much necessary.
Do you want to add something, or should I ask?
Yeah.
Please
I
go
wanted to add something. I wanted to answer your question actually. So I think the support which we require from the government is the support which government gives to any other sport, right? For example, for the Olympic which happened recently, government spent around 800 CR for training of the athletes, right? Why would a government train an athlete which is participating in Olympics for themselves? Because that athlete is representing India and it will bring pride to the government, to the country. This is exactly what needs to be showcased to the government, especially with now Esports Olympic series coming up. this is the lobbying which has to be done to the government to make them understand that this is a global sport in which you are representing a country, and this is why we need funds to be able to train the players. Why can't I send a CS2 team? For example, Shiva has the best CS2 team. If suppose if Shiva has the best CS2 team, why cannot he send the team in North America to participate and practice or boot camp with the teams which are practicing there, or in Europe? So this is the support, like how a Neeraj Chopra goes, practices in Europe to come to for the javelin throw. Why is he not practicing in India? Because of the facilities which are available there, because of the competition which he's facing there, and he's able to improve his skill with the training which he's getting there. That kind of monetary support for the training of the athletes, esports athletes, is what the government should be involved in.
That's how the Center of Excellence program is creating in all state governments. Already it is started, say like Tamil Nadu, Kannada, the Center of Excellence program started to build the players, send to Olympics or whatever it is.
I think follow-up question would be, what policies could incentivize private investment in grassroots level esports ecosystem? What policies can government implement so that more brands get involved on a grassroots level? Because I feel, personally, we spend a lot of time targeting and focusing on the top teams, bringing out the top competition. We don't have that ecosystem really fleshed out where we're able to do like how cricket has Ranji Trophy and district level championships, then state level. What can we do to kind of, what policies can we ask the government to make so monetization of grassroots that can happen? Because currently to do grassroots level, especially for a game, for an esports game, it gets tough. You're very limited to doing it online, where there's a lot of cheating and hacking happening. There's no way to really catch the bad apples there. What policies can be implemented? What can we expect? What can we ask the government to improve the grassroots program so that more monetization can be brought in to do like an India-wide, state-wide, district-wide competitions, which currently all over India we are not touching. We might be touching certain states. How do we do it for the whole country?
Yeah, the first, we need to improve the infrastructure. Like I mentioned, Center of Excellence programs much needed for all the states because there you build the grassroots players. For example, for state, what they need to build their players. They need to represent the state. They need to represent their cities. Right now, what's happening, like you mentioned, we just doing a open to all tournament. We don't know which state or which city participating. We just getting the random registration and doing the qualifiers and executing the tournament, and we are calling it a national championship or whatever. But if you take traditional sports like cricket or football, whatever it is, there is like a pyramid structure where you have to play city-wise, district-wise, state-wise, then national. Now it's not in esports, so that the entire structure has to be restructured and work with the publishers. So publisher also, like if you see cricket, they have the BCCI and football have the federation. But in gaming or esports, there is no such federation. Now publishers are dictating what they need to do, how they need to do, when they need to do. But it's not like that. It is a sports. Sports has to be defined by the government and the policies. This structure also has to be work on the way how a player from village, the grassroots, tier 4, tier 5 cities come on board to compete in the national level. But right now it is not the scene. It's all more like a tier 1 scene. That has to change.
I agree. Any thoughts?
I agree with him. He has covered pretty much.
Actually, I wanted to add something. Like Shiva mentioned, so there is one catch about esports. Any other sport is not owned by anyone, right? But esports are owned by individual private entities, and that is why they have a very big hold over how exactly the esport is conducted over the particular game they own. Now, this is something which a publisher has to come up with the government and decide in what way the game can be used to create an esport environment for the game from the grassroots level. And then, the structure which Shiva mentioned is exactly the structure which needs to be formed so that we are able to create new talents every year. It should be every year that we are able to see new set of teams which are being placing in top 16 or top 30 or top 50 of the esports.
With the way certain esports or popular esports in the country works, I feel that the grassroots level programs will be impossible to run till we don't at least bare minimum have state level center of excellence. Having stadiums or facilities which are built to do esports competition, local competition. I feel there's a lot more investments that need to be done. The infrastructure has to go leaps and bounds, and there's a lot of money that needs to be spent, which only the government can do, and the center government has to do. Even for a state-wise, dealing with different states is going to be very difficult. And till that doesn't happen, I find it difficult to foresee grassroots level programs really shining well. There might be, like Bihar might be doing something, maybe Haryana might be doing something, Tamil Nadu might be doing something, but it's running in silos, which are not talking to each other. And so the conversation needs to happen with the center, and I like the fact that all the states are currently putting esports in their AVGC policies. State-wise conversation is happening. From my home state, Punjab, there's no conversation. They have bigger problems to deal with than looking at esports. But it's nice to see Haryana doing it, Tamil Nadu doing it. A lot of southern states are doing it now, and Bihar was a big surprise for me that they've gone ahead and done that. So it's great, but I think we'll have to either wait for all the states to kind of line up together and say, okay, we're doing this, or the center has to take the call and be like, all right, we're going to be investing XYZ money. I don't see how or when this is going to happen, but I know we're all moving in the right direction. So my last few questions I have, and this is for everyone, and you can decide how you want to answer it. If you could solve one challenge or double down on one opportunity for Indian esports monetization, what would it be and why?
Like I would bring in, I'll try to bring in on, like first of all, awareness about esports is very much necessary. Like as you said, RMG and like people think that RMG and gaming is somewhat similar. Like I wanted to add a point over that question as well. So like this one incident happened with me recently. Like I went to met my father's friend with him. So he asked कि भाई कैसा चल रहा है तुम्हारा सट्टा? So I was like what the hell? And that time I felt like there is the need of an hour that we need to spread more and more awareness about gaming, esports, and this can be a great option for brands as well. Like it's a cheapest option if you talk about, and like the targeted audience is also very much similar to what brands look for. So we need to try and make spread awareness about esports and gaming to the non-endemic brands as well as the broadcasters like Skyesports, like you guys have been doing since last 3 years. Like more should come in, like Sony, Z, or like people like Amazon who have done recently a gaming show. So I guess we together need to spread more and more awareness to the non-endemic and broadcasting side of the industry, and like we have proven records of getting huge viewership. Recently we got 5 lakh plus live watching in BGMI. So I guess like talking about numbers, they are there. We have lots of influencers who are doing really great on regular basis. So altogether this can be a great thing to invest, but we just need to convince them that yes, there is something other than cricket or sports as well, where you can achieve your ROI and like get returns for your investment.
I have just two things. Like one is, like I mentioned earlier, acknowledgement from the governments. That's the first thing. Second thing, like the proper roadmap from the publishers. So these two things, if it is sorted right now, I think we are pretty much good to get into the monetization.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to add something. So I think it might be a bit controversial, but I would say that we need more games to be part of esports. Because right now there is a game which is very big game, and because of that, from what I have understood, talking with brands, that if I'll give you an example of a brand, I talked with a brand and the manager said me that I have 6 esports tournament happening of the same game, and how should I decide that I should be sponsoring this your esports tournament, right? So because of the lack of the diversity of the games which are available in esports, that is also one of the reason why a lot of brands are not choosing to participate, because they have already participated. They have already exhausted the budget. They would not want to target the same audience again and again. They would want to target a new set of audience, and that can only happen once there are more sports in which they can try and look for.
I mean, I have the contrary belief there that brands are unable to participate because others have already taken the space. So we are missing out on opportunity because there is no space left for the other brands to get in. Especially some investments are happening for throughout the year. Brands are saying, okay, give us complete block for this tournament or IP or something for the whole year or 6 months. The other brand is just sitting back now, can't do anything. Yeah. If we have more games, then we'll have more space for brands to partner. And my, one challenge that I would love to solve, and the thing is, I don't have an easy solve for it. Or if I have unlimited money or government support, I would really love to see the center of excellences and have like the core, base for doing India-wide qualifiers, tournaments, state-wise, city-wise, district-wise, and truly be able to unlock the potential that our country has, because currently it's very limited to poor infrastructure, and also the fact that there is not a lot of control over cheating, hacking. But if we have central, places where people can go to qualify and play, it'll make it much better, because we have such a large population. So many of players are, playing from tier 2, tier 3 cities, where they don't have good enough internet connection to even compete and participate in global tournaments or Indian tournaments. It makes it difficult for them to really rise up. And then it gets limited to a lot more tier 1 cities. And I feel there's a big potential tier 2, tier 3 cities that can be brought on the world of esports. And lastly, the limitation of our players being able to represent themselves internationally is also, I feel, a big blocker for monetization, where but I think that might be unlocked as Olympics now is adopting esports as part of it. So brands would see a big difference when they see this game being played in Olympics. It'll really unlock their eyes, and maybe even convince your uncle or your dad's friend to be like, how's Satta going? You can be like, how is the Indian representation on world stage going? So
that's what, like before Shark Tank, like people, like relatives used to doubt me, like what he is doing, wasting his time playing games, and like there was all the stuff like my classmates who were like toppers, they used to troll me that we are doing engineering, what you are doing, and you'll just like waste your career playing games and all.
that incident that happened with, I think, Mahadev or something, that where they caught a lot of black money. So my family was asking, where is your black money? But I think we'll wrap up the session. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much.
We don't have time for questions. Sorry, the next session is really late. Apologies. I've been told no questions. But I can take questions on the side. We're still here, guys. We'll just hang out right outside. You can ask the questions. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you, the panelists. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gaurav. Thank you, panelists. We'll be immediately starting with the next session, which is a panel discussion on transforming ABGC education for a brighter tomorrow. And I think it will be interesting for the young youth student population who are sitting here to listen to the views of the experts. So with these words, I'll call upon